Find something good, man. We have fun here.
You know, Daniel, you're back at it again with the white vans.
I don't know Daniel actually.
But he's
Who is
back at it
that?
again with the white vans.
He's got the white van.
Yeah, dude, Daniel's rocking them white vans. Daniel?
Damn, Daniel. Back at it again.
Did you know that the gun was golden?
Did you know that Christopher Lee has 3 nipples?
Did you know that James Bond has 3 nipples, but actually it's fake?
Did you know that James Bond has sex with women?
I thought he was a homosexual.
No, that was last week. This
Oh.
week he has sex with women.
And he looks different now.
Right. He
Now-
looks a million years old.
Now he has brown hair instead of black hair.
Right.
And he's a
Now
trillion
he has
years old.
a lot more wrinkles, but an equal amount of moles.
And an equal amount of swag?
I'd say a little more, even.
I would also say that. That's the
A
thing.
little bit more. Just
But
a
we'll
little
get
bit.
into that, I'm sure.
We'll get there. We'll get to the swagger of it all.
First of
But,
all, send this movie to someone to if you know a little person, and I doubt you do because I don't think they're real. But if you know a little person, send this video to them.
yeah, if you are a little person,
Which
send
you're not,
this
'cause-
to send this to
Yourself.
anyone, really. I mean, yeah, send it to yourself, but really send it to anyone. If you're a little person, comment down below.
I'm small.
I'm small, and I hate semi-pro for discriminating against little people.
Look, here's all I'm saying. I've never seen one.
If you're a little person, I can't say it, but you can. So comment down below the hard M.
Can you give me the M pass? I don't know.
The M word down below.
Here's my thing about little people. We're off to a rousing start.
Okay, yeah.
All
what's
we
your
said was we
thing?
weren't going to say the word.
That's true. You're right.
I've never seen one in person. And I think they're a psyop. I think all of them. I think it's a government psyop.
Yeah. Interesting. What, you think they're all like CGI or something?
Not necessarily CGI. Maybe like genetically modified, some kind of surgery.
Oh, okay. So you don't think they happen naturally?
No.
You think they exist, just not.
Yeah,
just don't
correct.
think
I
God
don't
made
believe
them.
in natural dwarfism.
Okay. Interesting. Send this video to Peter Dinklage if you have his phone number.
I
and
would
also
love to have
tell-
Peter Dinklage on the podcast.
Also, while you're at it, well, this might impact him being on the podcast, but tell him that he's a piece of shit bastard for impacting the careers of every other little person out there.
Which don't exist, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, that's true. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. This is a podcast. We're on a podcast.
This is my life a podcast.
This is the Semi-Pro Film
My
Show.
life a
Today,
James Bond movie.
also send this to someone you know who inspired
Has
you.
3 nipples.
That. Send this to your brother-in-law. We'll get there.
Okay.
Yes. Send this to someone you know who's named after a food.
Okay. Send this to someone you know who is John Bon Jovi. If you know
Okay,
John
yeah.
Bon Jovi.
If you know any celebrities,
why,
send it to them
Yeah,
and say they want you on the podcast.
Yeah.
And just parentheses, get in on the ground floor.
Right.
We've been on the ground floor for a minute.
Yeah, we're stuck at the ground floor. We cannot get past this.
Probably
but
because I don't believe in little people.
if we get John Bon Jovi on here,
Here's the
we'll
thing, though.
probably
Little
get.
people control the banks.
Uh, maybe
And they
I
won't
don't.
they won't let us off the ground floor.
Yeah,
All right, let's
I mean, yeah, the way we're treating them, of course they wouldn't. You know,
well,
we're
I mean, but
saying they
it
don't even exist.
just goes to show how much control they have over the banks.
Right. I mean, you'd think they'd be fine. At least we haven't dropped the hard M on them.
That's
Like
true.
you'd think they'd be cool with
They do
us.
wear those funky little hats though.
And they drop they drop so many hard M's in this movie. Like we should be able to, but it was a
I
different
think
time.
it was only like 2.
Dude, it was so many more than two. They
Really?
said it so many times in this movie. Yeah.
I like your delayed
It was
reaction
more
to my
times than I
hats
could
joke.
count.
That was good.
Yeah. It was a I'll get that one on the ride home, you
I
know.
might be confusing little people with anyway.
I digress.
It was a
Let's move
dwarf
past
doctor.
this.
Yeah, let's go on. So we watched. We're going through the James Bond movies, and we're kind of picking a movie per actor. That's the goal here. We did. You Only Live Twice, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and then I earlier
Cervix.
this week was thinking about what Bond movie we were going to do for this one. I've seen all of the Bond movies, and so
Right.
in
Now I
my
remember I
mind,
was thinking which James Bond movie does he have three
well, that's
nipples?
actually the first thing that popped into my mind was one of them. He has a fake third nipple, so I looked it up
Mhm.
and realized it was the man with the golden gun. And man, am I glad I did.
Yeah, it was a
This
great one.
this
Like
movie is such a blast.
one of the most fun movies I've ever seen, probably. At
Certainly
least the
one
most
of
fun James Bond movie.
certainly
Yeah,
one of the more fun movies we've done for the podcast.
for sure.
Not one of the best. This movie's not spectacular
No,
by any
no.
stretch of the imagination,
Yeah.
but
It's very mid, but I like it.
yeah,
You know? It's the
it is.
classic. Yeah.
It's James Bond,
It's
and
mid, but I like it.
he's doing his Bond thing, but there are so many
Oh,
little things. We talked a lot while we were
there's
watching this
so many
movie.
little people.
There's one, but that's
There's
more
just
than
one.
I've
That's
ever
enough.
seen.
That's more than enough.
Uh, we while we were watching it,
Oh.
we talked about how horrible the 70s
Send
were.
this video to an American person who packs a lot of dip in their like a comically large amount of
Mm,
dip in their mouth, and we'll get there. And that's set up.
that's set up, yeah.
We will get there.
We did. We talked a lot about how much we hated movies from the 70s.
Yeah.
I can think of a handful that I
More,
like.
more, more so you,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
I
you
also,
agree.
yeah, I get the sentimentality.
Movies
Yeah,
from the 70s just have a certain aura about them that I like movies from the
it was just it was a
60s,
very it was a very lazy era. I feel
especially everything
like
kind of felt like a movie made to train employees. If that makes
okay,
sense, like
yeah,
cinematography was
I get
lazy,
it. Yeah,
acting was very like they were going for realism, I think that was kind of the defining tone of the era was
mhm.
just realism. But man, do I not care for
But this
it.
this was quite the exception. Let me
Yeah,
say,
this
like
movie
this was
defies that.
phenomenal. Not even just how fun it was, but it was like I mean, we kept both saying like this is genuinely such a great, beautiful like cinematographed film. Like it was.
Is that the word we're
Is that a
using?
word?
I like it.
What's
Keep it.
the what? I mean, what else is the word
I'm
for?
leaving it in.
You know,
I don't
it's
edit the
good. Yeah,
podcast.
we're keeping it. No, no one does. That's why we can do whatever we want. But yeah, it was. It was really.
It
It
was
was.
a
It was
beautiful
great.
movie.
It looked great.
It felt good.
It had. It had so much. je ne
Sauce.
sais quoi, that sauce, yeah,
Goldeneye
that
sauce.
indescribable X fact, that
We'll get there.
golden sauce, which we'll get there. I mean, we're kind of already there. We're already
We're talking about the
um
movie. We haven't
we're
started
already
on the plot. But
we may as well start now. It starts out with we it for I think at least of the ones we've seen, the first scene does not feature James Bond.
right, yeah, the cold open is not like James Bond versus a group of bad guys, which is kind of typical.
Mhm.
There may have been one at this point that didn't. I know the one before
I'm
this.
sure there were,
I
but
guess to
of the two we've seen before this, they all opened with James Bond doing some cool kind of thing, whether it's dying or having sex with women or
or
beating up
both.
people on the beach, whatever it is. Yeah, both saying that this never happened to the other guy, whatever it is, it was something with Jimmy. And this one, it opens with the real life James Bond, Christopher Lee, who is the villain of this film.
Which
Um,
I number one, he's great in this role. And we'll talk
yeah,
more about that as
and
we go through
we should address the for people who don't
the
know,
Christopher Lee of it all.
The Christopher Lee of it all is that supposedly he was because he's what Ian Fleming's brother-in-law,
Yeah, married to Ian Fleming's
something
sister.
cousin. Yeah. So and he apparently wrote Ian Fleming
World War
during World War
II.
II when he was a part of that elite Nazi hunting SAS force, which that Guy Ritchie movie was based on. But and that was apparently a lot of the inspiration for the James Bond exploits and the James Bond books that Ian Fleming wrote.
I don't think it was just like him writing him. I think it was a lot of like the stories and stuff he would tell when he got back at
Okay,
like get-togethers and that kind of thing.
right,
There
right.
was a lot of consulting with him in the writing of the books. Like he was a big inspiration.
He is for all intents and purposes the real life James Bond,
Right, a
as
descendant
much
of
as anyone
Charlemagne.
could be.
Christopher Lee
Right?
doesn't get
Yeah.
enough credit for being one of the coolest individuals to ever walk the face of
Yeah.
the earth.
Ever exist? Yeah.
Like,
He's just the goat.
like if you think about
As much as anyone could ever be the goat, it's him.
like he's in Star Wars, he's in Lord
Hmm.
of the
Lord of
Rings,
the Rings.
he's in
Yeah.
James Bond, he was Dracula.
Hmm.
He had a rock band when he was still alive. May he rest in peace.
God, R.I.P. My
A
boy.
descendant of Charlemagne, the inspiration for James Bond, like one of the coolest people to ever walk the face of the earth. When they were adapting Dr. No, the first James Bond movie, when they were adapting it to a movie, Ian Fleming's recommendation for the cast was to cast Christopher Lee as James Bond, given as he was both an actor
Obviously,
and
right?
the real life inspiration for the character. Something didn't work out. I didn't look it up to know the details, but two important people were Christopher Lee and Roger Moore, who was the front runner to play Bond, but couldn't sign on due to a TV role he had at the
He
time.
had some other. Yeah, he had
The
some other.
Saint is
It's a
the name of the
TV
show,
program. Oh.
and so they cast Sean Connery. Sean Connery steps away. George Lazenby steps in. Sean Connery comes back for a movie. They make a movie. Live and Let Die is the first one with Roger Moore. This is the second one.
Was the movie where excuse me, the movie where Sean Connery came back was before the Roger Moore ones? Because
Sean
I thought it was
came
after.
Backery. Uh,
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery comes back in an official James Bond movie.
Yeah, never say never again. Yeah,
No,
I know of it.
Diamonds Are
No, that's not the
Forever,
one.
the Kanye West song,
Oh,
is the
oh,
sequel to On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the one we watched last week. Sean Connery's
Okay.
in that, and then the next one is Live and Let Die, James Bond versus Black People.
Right, that's Roger Moore. But then Sean Connery also comes back again
Yes,
for Never
correct.
Say Never Again. Right? That's
Yeah,
the
Never Say Never
old
Again is,
technically not canon kind of.
well, not only is it not canon, Never Say Never Again is a remake of Thunderball, the third Sean Connery James Bond movie. So it's a remake of a movie he was already
Interesting.
in, um,
Wild.
because that book made its way into the public domain, and a
Right.
different
Okay.
studio decided to make a movie of it and cast Sean Connery in it to try and make some
Gotcha.
money. That was while
Right. Okay.
that movie came out the same year as one of the Roger Moore Bond movies, like almost in
Ah,
competition.
in which we discovered while watching this. I mean, you looked it up. Roger Moore is actually older than Sean
By
Connery by
3 years.
2 years, right?
3 years.
Three
Yeah, three
years.
years older.
3 years.
Um and he does not look it. He looks old as dirt, but he doesn't look older than
I mean,
Sean
he looks
Connery.
old, but not as old as Sean Connery.
You see,
Yeah.
we skipped that movie. We skipped Diamonds Are Forever, um,
Right.
because we're watching kind of just one for each actor. But Diamonds
We're
Are
just
Forever,
yeah,
man, Sean Connery looks, his hairpiece is worse.
like shit.
Like he does
Oh
not look
God.
he does not look great. So Roger Moore finally gets his chance to play James Bond. He comes back. He's gonna do,
Mhm.
I think, what did we say, 7 total movies
Yeah,
as
7, I
James
think you
Bond.
said.
The actor in the most James Bond movies, kind of regarded
Cool.
as the James Bond for a lot of people, especially if you were growing up in the 70s and 80s. Like he
For sure.
was he's that generation's
He was
Daniel
like
Craig.
he was a lot of yeah, a lot of people's like that are, still alive, current boomers, that's their James Bond,
Right.
right? Like,
And not only was he, from what I understand, once again, I wasn't around. From what I understand, not only was he
you were
just,
there, I
yeah, I
remember.
was, I'm
You're a
90,
million years old.
right? I'm as
Yeah.
old as Roger Moore. Not only was Roger Moore just like the actor who played James Bond, but he really kind of acted as a brand ambassador for Bond as a
Mm.
brand,
Okay.
which I think helped him out a lot. He would go on like SNL or talk shows in character,
Right,
and
right.
he would do commercials as James Bond and all of these things. Like
Mm.
that really helped
He was
cement
the he was
him.
the one of the most committed to the role, even outside of the films.
I
Yeah.
think of like I think of like a Robert Downey Jr.,
Right.
who's not just
Yeah.
an actor playing a part. Like he's committed to being a brand ambassador for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Sure. Yeah. No,
To,
even to the extent that he's coming back as a different character now because they gave him
right,
$1 billion.
$1
But
trillion.
one Robert Downey Jillion
They gave
dollars.
him a single Rockefeller's worth of money.
Right.
Aren't you glad I went with that our last name?
Yeah. It's better.
So that really cemented him as like he's James Bond now. This is
Mm,
only his second movie. Like you got to think the second movie after a recast, especially someone who was just synonymous with the character. Last recast has gone very poorly.
mhm.
There could have been a lot of Roger Moore's trying to prove himself in this. And I
Oh,
didn't get
sure.
any of that, man. Like it just
No,
felt
no,
like,
he felt very genuine. I mean, he felt almost. I mean, granted, I've only seen like 1 or 2 Connery movies, but he felt almost more James Bond than Connery, which
I was going to say
makes
that,
sense
like
given that he was the original choice.
this movie, it does. I'm not seeing Roger Moore when I watch this movie. I'm not
Mhm.
seeing George Lazenby.
I'm seeing James
I'm
Bond.
seeing
Yeah.
James Bond, maybe even more so than like when I'm watching On Her Majesty's Secret Service. To be honest, the biggest
Great
hindrance to
one.
that
Let's see
movie
what
is
you got.
George Lazenby. Sean Connery's not really
Interesting.
a
That's
hindrance, I'd
crazy
say.
because you love Lazenby, don't you?
I love that movie is one of my favorites, but
Hmm.
that's the holdup. Sean Connery
Interesting.
is just he was not playing a character when he played James Bond. He just that's just him,
Right.
you know. And so I'm
Sure.
when I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, but there's Sean Connery. When I watch this, I'm like, man, that's Jimmy. That's James
That's James
Bond.
Bond. Yeah.
And
Oh, Jimmy.
and then you factor in you know you factor in Scaramanga, who's awesome. The cast of this movie is just
Which
perfect.
right? Yeah. We got little knickknack,
I
my
should have looked
goat,
up what that
the
actor's name is.
funniest. Yeah, pull it up right now while we're
Yeah, and
at it.
you rifle for a minute and then I'll say it.
I'll trifle, yeah. So, to get back into the plot a little bit, because we started talking about it, but we never got into it. It opens with Scaramanca. He's on the beach, and he's got a little lady with him. He has Knick Knack bring him some Tabasco sauce, which we never we never really explain why. I guess maybe he drinks it. Maybe he didn't have any food with him, so I don't know. I don't know what he was doing with that Tabasco sauce, but he has Knick Knack bring him some Tabasco sauce, and then um some other guy shows up. Maybe was that supposed to be the other 002
I
or
don't
whatever, the
think
other special
so. I
agent?
think that was
It was just
just
just some
yeah,
other.
because 002 was it was like I think 10,
He was it
15
was
years
implied it was
earlier.
implied that he. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in the
I
past. It
know
was
I
in the
know they I
60s,
know
so
they
it would have been about
said
10 years earlier,
gotcha.
5
Okay,
years, whatever.
yeah. But it's yeah, some other guy with a cool hat shows up to try and kill him, and Knick Knack, the little fella, he's seemingly helping this mystery assassin to kill Scaramanca. And we see that Scaramanca, that's Christopher Lee's character. He's got this whole room kind of set up that it's like a bunch of different like carnival kind of gimmicky things. Like I noticed right away that he had a one of the little horses from a carousel. Then he had like a little shooting gallery. He had a hall of mirrors,
I mean,
and
it's a carnival. It's a carnival kill room. Is
it's
the
it's
idea?
yeah.
Um,
But he's got this golden gun, which we see pretty quickly.
for he is the
He
man
grants
with the golden
he's
gun.
the he is the man with the golden gun. Yeah. So
Um, yeah, and he takes the guy out pretty
he goes
easy.
he goes through this thing. I mean, not that easy. Well, he does. Oh no, I'm wrong. He didn't have the golden gun right away. He didn't
Right,
have
it was in
any
a
gun with him.
crow's mouth.
The golden gun was in the crow's mouth inside the hall of mirrors, and
So
he's
he had to
trying he's
turn the
trying to get
stairs into a slide to get to it.
yeah. Which
Um,
again, silly cool stuff, super fun, and he
it's him
first
testing
he
his skills. It's you know it's like a
yeah, it was something. Yeah, we don't know this at the time, but it's revealed afterwards that it's something that he had his little fella knickknack planned for him to test his skills, to send some assassin to you know
Veleches, I think is how you pronounce his
I'll
last
be
name.
honest. I'm just gonna call him
Yeah,
knickknack. I'm not ever gonna
um,
say that,
who
but
who passed away at 50 years
yeah,
old in
damn,
1993 via suicide.
that's
So
wow, that's unfortunately common for little fellas,
yeah, because
because
they're
Vern Troy or he, well, I know. I mean, they've got already like a stunted lifespan, I guess,
Right.
just because of their condition.
Well, that and
But
they're
I
not
know,
real.
Prince Royer, and yeah, okay. But yeah, rest in peace, homie. He
Yeah.
was great, and
He's great in this, and
as
he was in
Knick-Knack,
some other.
yeah,
Anyway, Knick-Knack is
he was in other things.
Knick-Knack is helping Scaramanga out with his kind of escapades. He's his
Well,
manservant, you know.
he's his main goon, if not his only goon
It's
in
yeah, for sure
this.
his only goon. I think it goes beyond goon. He's literally his. I mean,
Right?
he's his
He's his
servant.
sidekick. He says, "Yeah." I feel
It's
like sidekick feels a little less.
well, I mean, but I don't
Um,
know. I mean, he's bringing him the Tabasco. He's waiting on his every need. Like
he's definitely a servant, but I feel like
Butler,
with the stuff he does,
he's his
he's a
Alfred.
combination. He's a combination between Alfred and Robin. I feel like because he does a little
Mm,
more than just
that's
Alfred
true.
does. You know,
He's a goonfant.
don't call him that.
The opening
But
credits
anyways,
roll.
in this first scene, yeah. Well, it seems like little Knick-Knack is working against him, but then after he pops mystery cool bowler hat assassin in the head, it's you know, he says, "Oh, Knick-Knack, you'll have to try better than that." And it's revealed that it was just like a, you know, a little setup test kind of thing.
Which sets off
And
the plot,
then yeah, the
and
credit
the idea of the
right.
plot is not to spoil the whole thing. He
Oh, dude,
wants
spoilers. Come on.
for a 60-year-old movie. He wants to he wants to face off against James Bond because James Bond's a famous secret agent, which is ridiculous, but at this point
Which
it's
is
just known.
which is a hilarious oxymoron, and I'll mention that every time.
It's
It's such a funny fucking
like
oxymoron
I'm
because there's that can't exist. A famous secret agent, it shouldn't exist. It's secret. It's in the name.
by the time we get to Timothy Dalton, like next movie, that's done, right? But at this point,
Okay,
it's
thank
just like,
God.
man. But he wants to face off against James Bond to prove himself,
Mhm.
essentially, because James Bond
Right.
is not only famous secret agent, but he's also the greatest to ever do it at this point in the franchise.
He's yeah.
Which
Again,
which once again, we're
as we've
10 years
discussed
in, we're like six
as we've discussed
movies.
before, James Bond is the male fantasy, so he's the coolest man to ever exist. He has sex with every woman who comes across him. Everyone wants to have sex with him, and he's just the coolest at everything he does.
Right.
So naturally, this cool egotistical maniac assassin wants to beat him to prove himself, right?
And that's the setup for the movie. We'll
Mhm.
skip over some of the
That's the film.
details throughout the plot. We'll hit the stuff that's important, but there's
Yeah.
a lot.
That's how I mean, that's how we do
If I
it.
had one real complaint about this
There is a
movie,
lot in this
there's a
movie, yeah.
lot of little kind of set pieces.
There's a lot of stuff, yeah,
It's not
which I wouldn't even
super
say that.
long.
I mean, I'd say that as a complaint in our retrospect in discussing it, but as far as actually watching it, that's what kept me locked in.
For
Like that's
sure,
what
yeah. I mean, the attention span of a goldfish.
right, exactly. The attention span of a fucking Instagram Reels watcher, a
Right.
fucking like TikTok generation, like that kept me dialed in. Like
Which is one of the
it was
reasons,
set piece
like,
after cool thing after cool
the
thing.
pacing of
Like
this movie is great for a modern
great. It's
audience.
phenomenal. Yeah, way, and I know we said this last movie, but it's way ahead of its
For
time for a
sure.
70s
Well,
film.
like I think last week's movie was more ahead of its time in terms of its storytelling
Right.
and
This one is
like
ahead of its time in
dialogue,
terms of pacing.
correct, and only its pacing.
Yeah,
Nothing else
the
is
rest of it is way before its time.
way dated in the past. So,
Yeah.
James Bond gets put on the Scaramanga case in the normal James Bond setup, and he goes kind of
Classic James Bond. He talks to Q and M, and they say, "Oh, you got to do this thing," and then you go do it.
surprising
Does
lack
no?
of
He doesn't talk.
gadgets.
He doesn't talk to Q. Yeah.
No gun
Very
cigarettes
few
in this
gadgets.
movie.
Right, yeah, just normal guns. I mean, other than the fake nipple, that's the closest to a gadget we get,
And he
right?
didn't even have like a microphone or a tracker in it or something.
No, it was just he literally
That's
just
what would have
ripped it
happened
off right
in
away.
like the
But look at
Brosnan movies. Q would have put a
there,
tracker in his nipple.
right? He would have put a little tiny miniature dart that shoots out and fucking does some shit. But
Um,
but yeah, so he gets the case. He goes to what is it, China?
I
China.
I guess it's China.
It's supposed to be China, even though they speak
Well, and they speak the
Thai. They
captions, the
don't.
closed captions
The
we,
captions say they speak Thai. We don't know that it's
and I
Thai. It could
felt
be
like
because
they
one of
said a
them says.
different country, but I don't. I digress.
I remember it being China because I specifically remember them saying that the sunken ship was off the coast of the island of Hong Kong,
Mm.
which at this time and even still, depending on who you ask, is a part of China. I personally think free Hong Kong, but I digress.
Also, sunken ship
Really political.
setup.
Sunken ship. We'll get there. James Bond is in Chinatown, which I guess in China is just called town.
So James
But
Bond is in Hong
he's
Kong
going
town,
he's
which in
going to
Hong
the
Kong is
what is
just
it? What
called
is
town.
it? What is it? What's the place he's going to? The dirty bottom or whatever.
Like it's called like
Um
booty hole or something. Bottoms
oh
up.
no, it's bottoms up. Yeah, and it's got the logo is a butt, but it looks
It looks
like a
like
playing
a
card kind of.
yeah. It's awesome.
And it looks like a butt, obviously, but it's also sort of stylized like a like a heart or spades kind of playing card.
Booty
But he
cheeks.
goes there and well, no, first he gets the information about the golden gun and the golden bullets, so he
He goes
goes
to visit, yeah, the
to
guy. Well, no, there's the
what's his
stripper.
name? The guy.
The stripper with the belly
Yes,
button
first,
ring.
yes, he learns about 002 getting killed, so he goes to the what's it called?
The
The cabaret. He goes to the cabaret
right.
where 002 was killed. And this was, I guess, I didn't get this, but you said I guess it was like 10 or so years back.
It was
But
it was sometime in the 60s. I remember the year being 60
it was
something. It could have been
well, to be
69, so it
fair,
was
this
only
was
5
this
years
was early
back.
this was early 70s, so yeah, it could have been
It
not
was
that
at the
long. But
very
either
least 5
way,
years ago.
it was at least 5 years,
Yeah.
yeah. So he goes there, he talks to the stripper, he asks her, "Do you remember fucking Billy Corrigan or whatever his name was?" That's the guy from Smashing Pumpkins, but it was Bill something, I think. And she's like, "Yeah, he got shot through the neck like Charlie Kirk with a golden bullet."
Which is weird cuz she says that verbatim.
She said, "Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, how did they not see that one coming?"
We both
But
froze and pointed at the screen and we're like, "Wait."
did Albert Broccoli fucking plan the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Hang on a second. But then she goes on to say that she's wearing the golden bullet that killed him as a belly button ring.
Also a prediction cuz much like Erica
Right,
Kirk,
because that's what Erica Kirk is doing. But anyways, yeah. Then
James Bond
he does the
pretends to
James
give her
Bond thing.
head.
He flirts with her. He doesn't even pretend. He just
He just
compliments her
doesn't. He just
abdomen.
gives
Really,
her head.
yeah, it's not even a pretend. He just eats her out. But no. But I think he was probably planning on it. But before he could, Mike Staklasa Kingpin comes in and see, I told you we'd mention
Yeah, I
that.
mean we have to, right? It's part of the plot.
but but yeah, Mike's the classic Kingpin comes in with a bunch of other goons, and they try and attack and kill James Bond, and he's James Bond, so he kicks their asses. He takes one of their heads and just slams it into the
Dude,
wall like
the
5
the
times.
the the fights in this
Action in this
movie.
is great.
Well, I say
It's
that
great.
the action
I
in
mean,
this
to be fair,
specific scene.
this was one of the, not the only good ones, but one of the best action
It's
scenes of
certainly,
this
I would
film. It
say,
was the
probably
first
the
one.
best at like actual
Mhm.
physical action scene, because the rest of it's kind of
Because there
shootouts and
weren't there, there weren't that many more like physical, like
right.
brawl type scenes. Yeah, but this
Yeah,
one is
he
great. It's
swallows the
it's enough
bullet.
for the whole movie.
Right.
And then yeah, he as he's like, yeah, he right before they come in, he like bites it
Gulp.
and swallows it, and then he fights them, beats them all up, and then after he leaves, she's like, "Oh my god, where'd my or no, she goes, what does she say? She's like, "I
I've
lost
lost
my
my charm.
charm."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Not from where I'm standing."
So
God
he
dang her, dude.
he takes the
He's
bullet
so
back to Q.
smooth.
Q observes it. They figure out where the bullet came from. So he goes
Mhm.
to visit the guy who made the bullet to find out more information about Scaramanga.
Right, right.
And that's when he finds out about
Then he then he
Scaramanga's
then he threatens
girlfriend.
to, right. Well, first he threatens to blow this guy's balls
That's true.
off
Yeah. And,
with the weird rifle that doesn't have a trigger.
it's awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's sweet.
He finds out about
But
Scaramanga's girlfriend, Melania Trump.
mhm, right, yes, and he the bullet gun maker, he gives him the bullets in a Chinese cigarette case,
Right.
reference to our thumbnail.
Melania Trump, reference to our
Um
thumbnail.
right. But so he takes the cigarette case and he goes to the casino.
Yeah, it's a Chinese casino with buckets that come down from the ceiling. I've never seen anything
Right.
like it. But
Which
yeah,
is, yeah,
that's where
incredible.
he runs into Melania Trump, who's picking up the bullets for
Mhm.
Scaramanga. And then he goes
Right.
back to her hotel
Yeah, he gives
room.
them to her. He
He smacks
follows her to
her.
her hotel room. Sure, as he's one to do.
Right. I mean, when it's for Queen and Country.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a little fuzzy on this part, but what happens after this? He
This
smacks her
is Yeah,
around.
well he smacks her around.
Well,
This is
he
he's
gets
getting the
oh yeah,
confirmation that
this is when
Scaramanga was who killed
he gets
002.
a little yeah, he does that, but he gets a little rapey on her because she's like half naked,
I'd say
and then
flirty.
I feel like it was flirty at first. Then he pinned her to the bed and almost broke her arm,
To
and
be
was
fair
like,
though,
"Hey,
he didn't
you
make
have
a
to do what I
move
say."
at that point. He just
No,
smacked her and then
it
left.
was
He
sure,
didn't
but
sleep with
it was
her in this
still
moment. He waited till later.
right. I'm not saying it was straight rape, but it was
I mean, it's
rapey. It was
James
a
Bond,
little.
so it's always implied.
It's always there's always an implication. But
We also are introduced to Goodnight, who's another MI6 agent. She'll come up a little
yes,
later.
this is after
She's the real
he
Bond
gets
girl of this
so
movie,
he correct, yeah. So he threatens what's her name? Melania
Melania
Trump.
Trump. Yeah.
He threatens her. He threatens her
What's her
to
name? Melania Trump.
yeah. I don't do we even know her actual name
I
in this
don't, but I'm
movie?
sure we
Yeah, I mean,
do.
we only called her Melania Trump throughout this film.
Right.
Like, I'm sure. I mean, we could Google it if we cared, but we won't.
Don't, so I won't.
But so he had threatened her, and then I think she
And not
said,
with a
she's like,
good
no,
time.
I
He did not threaten her with a good time.
right. Well, I mean, sort of though,
Later.
she did say that she hates him, and she's only doing this because she's like kind of stuck in the situation, right? Like she was like,
Well, no, I mean, it's basically because like
but
he's
that
gonna
later.
break her arm if she doesn't tell him who she's working with.
I feel like even after that, she was like, yeah, I only do this because I'm like stuck in this situation.
She
Like
does. She kind of reveals that she's
she was
like,
she was kind of a victim. Maybe this was later
well,
and I'm
he
confusing it,
asks her. He's like, oh, so you're his lover. And she's like, well, only when he wants to get the kill. So she's kind of setting up that she's,
Right, right.
not getting what she needs as a woman.
She's a whore,
And only one
basically.
man can fill that hole, and it's James Bond.
Right.
And he will, but
But
later we'll
yeah,
get
so
there.
she
Um,
but we'll get
but this is
there.
when he kind of
So
he kind
she
of finds out who Scaramanga is. He
mhm,
doesn't find out where he's operating from yet, but he
mhm.
does find
Oh,
out.
but first we missed, this is future setup that we missed. When he was talking to Q and M initially, he was initially? That's not a
I
word.
liked it.
Initially, it's good. Initially, I'll stick with it. He finds out that the Scaramanga has three nipples,
Right.
which is
And she
a
says it again here.
seemingly pointless thing. And then yes, she says it again here. It's like she doesn't say it directly, but she's like, "Oh, he's got an anatomical anomaly."
I should have not spoiled that for you. The three
Yeah,
nipple
yeah, that would
thing.
have that would have been. Although I mean, they revealed it in the first scene with
Yeah,
him.
but James Bond
Like they
wearing the
they
fake
zoom they
nipple.
zoom sure, yeah. But to be fair, you had already spoiled that for me. I knew that.
Mm,
Like you have way before watching this movie, you've mentioned James Bond wearing a fake third
mm.
nipple. I didn't know the context, but you had talked about it before.
Um. So James Bond he's got Goodnight, who's
He's got
another
three nipples.
who's another
Right, yes.
MI6
So
agent,
so
and he's got his agent
he leaves he leaves wherever he was with
Melania Trump.
Melania Trump, and Goodnight is there to pick him up, and he sort of flirts with her, and then he realizes that she's an MI6 agent, so he goes with her somewhere. I don't remember,
They've
or
got a
does he
this
go
is
with
when they
her?
go to the ship, which is MI6 headquarters
Yes.
for this
Well,
movie.
yes. He doesn't go with her. They just flirt for a bit in front of the car, and
And
then
she
he's
gets
like
very
he's like,
jealous. That's
I'll
her
come,
character
I'll
trait in
come,
this
I'll come."
movie.
Right. Well, what's the line? He's like, "Oh, I'll come back to you later.
I'll be coming later, I think
I'll
is
be
what he says.
coming
Yeah.
later." And then yeah, then he gets in the car with what's his name? Hip, the the Asian. Well, we kind of skipped past the introduction of Hip, which was James Bond leaving the casino, I think, where
Oh yeah, and that one dude gets
um,
shot.
the one there's two Asian guys walking out and James Bond. One of the older Asian guy gets capped in the head by the man with the golden gun, and then James Bond naturally draws his gun to his Walter PPK, and
Walter.
then Walter, put your dick away, Walter. I'm not having sex with you. But then the other Asian guy that was with the guy that got killed is pretending to be a cop, or he is a cop that's working with MI6,
One of
but
those
we
two.
don't know that quite yet. He arrests James Bond and takes him to the ship, the sunken Queen Mary or whatever that's off the coast of Hong Kong, which is
One
apparently the
of the
secret office
coolest
of QNM.
sets.
It's so cool. It's genuinely like probably the coolest set piece ever. Like it's this sideways ship, and the whole time they're like walking sort of sideways inside this ship, and then they go into Q or M, whichever one's
It was
office.
M's office.
I don't give a fuck. It's one of them. But and then it like flattens out, like they've like renovated it to be like flat,
But the
but
walls
everything
are
else is
still crooked.
sideways.
Yeah, it's super
So
cool.
it's so fucking cool. And then that's when we get a little bit more information that this guy's on his side. He's undercover or whatever. And then is when Is that when he goes to the not sumo wrestler match, the Asian boxing match?
No, that's later.
That's later?
Um,
Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself.
yeah, that's where Melania Trump dies later on in the movie after she
Right.
sleeps with James
Rest
Bond.
in peace.
This is when I'm trying to remember the context of how he got there, but this is when so the guy who the guy Mr. Hip is the guy who Scaramanga is
Hip.
working for at the moment. Scaramanga's he's a hitman. Um Mr. Hip owns a karate school. James Bond gets kind of kidnapped
Yeah.
by Knick Knack, taken to the karate school. He beats up a bunch of kids and escapes at this point, right? Am I correct?
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
The karate school that Mr. Hip runs, James
The
Bond beats up.
karate school, I think yes, no, yes. This is when yes, they reiterate on the triple nipple thing. Why
Right.
was that not our caption for this? Triple nipple? That
Triple
flows
nipple's
off the
good. It might
tongue.
be the title.
That's, it could be, yeah. But yeah, so they reiterate on the triple nipple. They don't say directly that they're giving him that, but they reveal that when he goes to the karate school, which is also like just kind of a
Right, I was out of
little
order. Yeah, you're
sanctuary
right.
kind of thing
Yeah,
with a
yeah. He
pool.
goes to
Yeah,
Mr. Hip's sanctuary,
so
pretends to be
he
Scaramanga with his fake
the
third
what's her
nipple.
what was her name? It was so funny.
Chew
Chew
me.
me. Chew me, chew me. She's swimming.
She's
Asian woman.
nothing.
She's
She's not
swimming
important
naked
to the
in the
plot.
pool. She's. This
She's
is her only
she's
scene, but her
just
name is
skinny
so.
dipping.
It's it's the funny. It's one of I can't say the funniest, but it's one of the funniest Bond girl names. That's not even a Bond girl. She's just a minor side character, but her name is
It's one
Chumi.
of the first
Bond
moments
flirts
in
with
these
her a little
movies
bit.
where the girl has just a hilarious name.
Has a hilarious
Culminating in
innuendo kind
Moonraker
of.
with Holly Goodhead.
I mean, that's just peak, right?
And then
But anyways, yeah, he flirts with her.
Xenia
He
Onatop
takes
is
off his
another good
shirt
one.
as right. Yeah, that's Famke Janssen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he takes off his shirt to presumably go skinny dipping, and then Asian guy who's running the
That's Mr.
karate
Hip.
studio, Mr. Hip. Is that Mr.
I
Hip? I
think
thought that
so.
was someone else. Because I thought that guy was against him. Mr. Hip was on his side, right?
I don't think so.
I think no,
He
because
had a
Mr. Hip
funny
comes
name
back
that we
later,
kept
and he's
pointing
not the
out, like, oh
guy.
man, how funny his name.
High fat, high fat,
That's it.
Mr.
Yeah.
Fat,
Mr. Fat. That's
Mr.
it.
Fat, yeah,
Yeah.
high fat, aka Mr. Fat, who later, I'm not going to spoil it, but we'll get there.
He dies.
He dies. Yeah, Christopher Lee takes over, but
I think we can kind of bridge the gap to there. Christopher Lee
sure. Well, yeah.
wants
So
Bond.
he reveals his third nipple, and seemingly to us, the audience, he is fooling High Fat into thinking that he's Scaramanga, and maybe he is
I
briefly,
don't think
but
so.
then quick. I don't.
Because it's
Yeah,
like the next
it
scene.
seems like us though. Yeah, it's literally the next scene that he's meeting with the real Scaramanga, and he's like, "Oh, so you got James Bond here? Let's kill him!"
And
and
that's when they go to the karate
then
school. James
they
Bond escapes the karate
right
school. Awesome
they
boat chase.
yeah. Well, first, very cool. Another probably the second best and only other physical action sequence in this is the karate tournament in which
Which is cool,
he
not as
fights.
cool as the one earlier.
It wasn't as cool as the opening one, but it was. There were a couple really. The one where the guy bows to him,
And he
he
kicks him
bows
in the
back, and then he
face.
just
Yeah.
instantly kicks him in the face and just straight knocks him out. Yeah, but then the one after that where they were going toe to toe, and the one guy had him on the ropes for a bit until he like shoved him off, and then just
Jumped out
jumped
the
through the
window. Yeah.
fucking the wooden door. Yeah, so cool. And
Um,
then is when he gets on the boat. super cool boat, like the coolest boat I've ever seen.
And he says, "You mind if a
Like
white
it's
voice speak a little Spanish tonight?"
he doesn't say that,
It's
but
something along those lines, though. I'm not that far off.
I don't maybe I don't know about that,
He
but
says something in
he
Spanish.
steals this. He does say something in Spanish for some reason,
The
but
boat chase
he takes this
culminates with us being reintroduced to Sergeant
uh
J.W. Pepper,
right,
who
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club
was in
Band.
the last movie. He's a cop from NOLA. He's a cop from New Orleans, who is vacationing
Collins.
here. He's a bit character in these movies.
He's a big fat American who's got a big fat lip of dip.
They
That's all
wind
you
up
need
in
to
a
know
car
about
chase together just through some shenanigans.
him. Right. Well,
Because
first we got the boat chase. We got the little Asian kid trying to hawk his elephant statue. James Bond shoves him off the boat, and then he tries to hawk it to, or
he
before he was trying
tries
to
to
hawk it
what?
to Sergeant
He
Pepper.
tries to hawk
Hawk to
too.
Hawk 2, guys. But yeah, so he's Hawk 2 in it, and then
Goodnight gets kidnapped by
we
Scaramanga and
see
Knick-Knack.
we see a little more of Sergeant Pepper. There's the funny scene where the elephant pushes him in the water, I
Right.
think.
He
That
says,
was a
"Honey,
good
we're
one.
Democrats,"
Right. I don't want no elephant, honey, we're Democrats.
which
Which
doesn't
is
make any sense.
presumably, it's nonsense. It seems like it's maybe, if I thought this movie had any sort of self-awareness, I would say that was like a
Americans are
satirical joke.
stupid,
Yeah, saying that Americans are dumb and they don't know the different animals associated with the political
or
parties.
they don't know what
But
they
I'd
believe.
say,
Maybe
or that,
I
yeah,
don't think
either
this movie's
way,
smart enough for that.
I don't think that was the case. I think it was just whoever was writing the script didn't know the different political party animals. But
So J.W. Pepper
hilarious line either way.
and James Bond wind up in a
Sergeant
car
Pepper.
chase chasing after Goodnight, who's been kidnapped by Knick-Knack and Scaramanga. Scaramanga
Right,
turns
Nick Nack
his
Paddywhack, get a
car.
bone
He turns his car into a
plane
plane.
very quickly somehow. We don't see how.
We
He
see
just
the attachments coming
into a
on.
bar. Sure, we
I
see,
mean,
but then it's so seamless afterwards. Like
yeah,
it's nonsense. I mean, it's yeah,
it's James Bond.
but yeah, it's Jimmy Bond. Yeah, so he's
I
got this plane car, and then he burst. Well, also the Chinese CCP are after him at this point.
Yeah, but that amounts to nothing.
And they're very minor. I
They
mean,
arrest Sergeant J.W. Pepper,
they
but they don't
arrest
do anything
Pepper,
with
yeah.
Bond. Yeah.
But then we never see Pepper after that again. So we assume who
Until
gives
the
a
next
fuck.
movie, which I think he's in.
Right, in which they probably don't address any of
No,
this.
they don't.
It's just there. But
Q is able to pinpoint Goodnight's location based on previous tracking in her
yeah.
radio.
First we see Goodnight. It cuts to her again. She's in the air, and she has. I don't know if she has some sort of communication or if she's just talking to herself.
It's a
but she's like,
walkie-talkie.
I think
They've got radios.
it's,
Yeah.
yes, the walkie-talkie. Yeah, she's like, I think we've stopped, and she opens up the trunk, and there's just midair. And then probably one of if not the single most realistic scene in this movie, in which she tries to close the trunk, but she struggles really hard because she's midair and there's a lot of air pressure.
Right.
That was really good. Like
You
I noticed
really
that
liked
right away.
that.
That was
Yeah.
that like that was just such an extra
It's unexpected.
little they really added to it. Yeah, it really is. Like in any other movie, I would think she'd just close it right away
Well,
and be
and
like,
also,
"Oh my god, we're in the air!"
and also, like, this is the movie where this car just turned into an airplane. Like, it's a weird detail.
Right, where realism isn't the standard. When realism happens, it's like
It kind of takes
that
you out a
really
little bit, to
stands
be
out,
honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Q's able to pinpoint her location. James Bond flies there in the dumbest looking plane you've ever seen, through
So
the
funny
mountains
looking,
from
yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but he goes to the islands of Jurassic Park that are meant to be some islands in the fucking Red Sea of China or whatever.
Right, where he's greeted by Scaramanga and Knick-Knack, to
Hey, Patty
finally
Wag, your
play
dog a
into
bone.
Scaramanga's game. That game starts with dinner. Goodnight's in a bikini. James Bond says she's overdressed.
God, yeah.
James Bond's in the toughest suit
Crazy
you've ever
line.
seen.
Oh yeah, the houndstooth with the little red fucking stripes. God, I
Yeah.
need that jacket.
And that's kind of when the game starts with a duel, and it ends in the same carnival kill room that Scaramanga has been
Mhm.
using from the beginning.
The classic one, yeah. And then James Bond, he well, because we didn't mention this in the intro, but there was a mannequin of James Bond because,
Right.
as we've mentioned before, James Bond is a famous secret spy who is famous enough that this assassin knows of him enough to make a mannequin out of him for his silly little
And
gimmick
it's an
kill room.
exact likeness.
Perfect likeness, yeah. But and also with real clothes on it, obviously, because James Bond, who isn't wearing these same clothes, he takes the clothes off the mannequin, puts them on, discards of the mannequin, I guess, and
Which,
stands in
like,
the
I don't know,
same
you
pose.
think of like wax figures and stuff, and they all have real clothes on them. It's easier to make real
Sure,
clothes
sure,
than
yeah.
fake
Than to
clothes, you
make them
know?
out of wax, yeah. Fair enough, yeah.
Probably
But
cheaper.
yes, he.
Not the point.
I mean, gotta be, yeah. But yeah, it's not. That's irrelevant to the man with a golden gun,
It's
right?
completely
He's
irrelevant
dropping a
to
band on.
on Knick-Knack. He's paying Knick-Knack
But
a
yeah,
band.
he's paying Knick-Knack a paddywhack. Give that dog a bone.
So he
But
defeats Scaramanga, and Scaramanga has earlier revealed to us his plan, which I think, and I could be wrong. He's
we don't
working
fully know. Yeah,
he's working for someone who is developing, or he himself, one of the two, has developed
and if he's
a perfected form of solar energy, and he wants to
hmm,
take out the oil barons to make his solar energy more sellable. And he also made a cool
right,
gun with it.
yeah, he made a solar laser gun which he uses to blow up James Bond's stupid looking plane.
Keeping in mind, this is at a point in time when oil
They
use
couldn't.
was
They
not viewed as bad. That's important to
right.
the plot, because like today you see this and you're like, oh well,
It's like, how
oh
was he a bad
man,
guy?
right. Oil use was not viewed as bad at this point, at least not widely, and so James Bond is kind of tasked with putting a stop to this. After he
Right.
defeats Scaramanga, though, he needs the device that powers the solar weapon. He doesn't want it to get into the wrong hands, especially Knick-Knack's hands, because they're small, but they can do a lot of damage.
Oh, but they're chubby too.
Right. So he goes to steal the device that powers it. Some shenanigans happen. Goodnight's
Oh
butt
well, as
turns on the
yes, good
machine.
night. Good night turns it on, and then she manages to turn it off, but she also pushes
No,
the
she never
one
turns
goon.
it off. The cloud
Does she
goes in
not
front of
turn
the
it off?
sun.
Yes, yes. But also she pushes the second goon, which is the only other
Black
Scaramanga
Goon.
goon we ever see. Black goon, sure. She pushes him into helium, hydrogen, whatever it was supposed to
Helium,
be.
which
That
is a gas, but it's
looks
a
like a hot
liquid.
tub, which is a gas. Yeah, but it's yeah this hot tub looking thing, which she pushes him into, and it disrupts the something or other.
It
I
makes it
don't
too
fucking
hot. His
know.
body heat makes it too hot.
Right. Yes, because it's absolute zero. That's what the sign says, and it's very clear because they have a sign that says this is absolute zero. Do not adjust the temperature.
So the whole place is about to blow. James Bond is able to get the device. They escape onto Scaramanga's pirate ship. And
Hmm.
Goodnight and
His baby
Bond.
pirate ship.
Right. James,
That's
Goodnight
important.
and Bond are finally about to. They're
Can't
finally
go to
about to
hall.
seal the deal. You know, like it's
Hmm.
time. They've been building to it the whole movie. James Bond is going to
Right. Yeah.
sleep with this woman.
He, yeah. I mean, he was gonna sleep with her, then he slept with Melania instead, and she had to watch from the closet. You
Right?
know,
She
classic Jimmy
got cut
Bond.
closeted. She got
She got
cuxted.
she got the cut closeted, but
Um, and then Knick Knack shows up on the ship with a knife in his mouth, and it's awesome.
and so
That
cool.
might be
Yeah.
the best hand to hand combat scene in the movie.
Honestly, yeah.
It's up there.
Well, I don't know. Oh, the one in the cabaret was pretty cool. Just
Yeah,
because it was
but
against like three guys
also,
and
but
one
here's
one
James
dude.
Bond fighting a little person.
This one's against a little guy and he's got a knife. Yeah,
Right.
it's a toss
And
up.
he keeps
You
just
know, yeah,
throwing wine bottles at him.
yeah.
James Bond, of course,
And
defeats Knick Knack. This
eventually
is the
he gets
fifth
in.
act at this point.
He locks him. Yeah, it's crazy. He locks him in a suitcase, and it's implied to us, the audience, and also Goodnight, that he throws him over the overboard, like he just tosses him in the ocean,
But
and
Jimmy would never
then
do that.
he would never do that. But then he goes and he sleeps with Goodnight, and Q or M, whichever one calls him, and he's like, sorry, I have to get off.
Something
And
came up,
then
is what he says. Same line from On Her
something
Majesty's
came
Secret
away,
Service. Yeah.
but then no, it was a stiffness in Majesty's Secret Service.
Well,
Get it
he also
right.
says that. He also says something came up.
Something, yeah, he does. Yeah, he said then
That movie. That
he
movie's
goes
hornier
something
than
came
this
up,
one.
and then it's got a lot more. Yeah, but then this one also he's got the.
That's not true. Actually, I said that,
He
and it's
said
just a lie.
he says something about Goodnight too. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Goodnight had to get off," and then
Yeah,
he
that's
hangs
it.
up.
Yeah.
And
No, well,
that's when he
M
has sex
says
with
good
her.
night, and he says good night, sir, and then hangs up the phone.
Yeah,
And
right.
roll credits.
There was something with getting off. Well, no. First, it pans to it reveals that the little fella Nick Knack, he wasn't actually thrown overboard. He was just locked in a little cage and strung up on the sail,
They hung him.
which is insane. Yeah, and then yeah, roll credits. The ship sails off to sea. Roll credits, and that's
James
the
Bond will
movie.
return in The Spy Who Loved Me.
In The Spy Who Shagged Me. Yeah.
Right. This movie's great. I would recommend it to if you want an intro to
It's a good
Bond.
one, man.
So far, all of the ones we've
I'd recommend,
watched, this
I'd
is
recommend
probably
this
my
to
number
anyone
one.
who
Yeah.
ever lived, probably.
But that's all the time we got. We're gonna wrap it up.
What we got, man? Thanks for watching. Send this to your mother's lover.
Right.
What? What?
We'll see you
Thanks for
next time.
watching. We'll see you when we meet again, right here on the Semi Pro Film Show.